Alright guys, hi! So we're here, we're doing to do Mistonia. I have about an hour or so that I can play. I told myself I'm gonna play anyways, even though it wasn't a lot of time. Some things changed to our schedule today. So we went thrifting, we came home. I was gonna start my stream, dragged my feet a little bit, got asked if, because we're plans tonight, if my friend can come over early. So I was like, oh no, I gotta clean. So I started cleaning. So now I'm ready. I'm ready. I got ready for the party we're going to tonight. So that's why I'm already dressed. This is what I'm wearing tonight. And we're going to end the stream when it's time for us to get my friend to come over. So that's when we're gonna leave. So yeah, streamer has fancy makeup on. Yeah, not very rarely do I put on makeup. This is my going out makeup. We're gonna go get ice cream. We're gonna go to a bar. And we got I grabbed a soke. It's a sake soda. I'm pre-gaming while we stream, so we're ready to go. Straight up once I'm done. But yeah, it's gonna be about an hour stream today, and then I will have a stream tomorrow. And me and my sister were talking about doing Borderlands tomorrow, but not just doing Borderlands, Borderlands and drinking, because I don't work on Monday. So she's like, what if we drink when we play Borderlands? So every time we die and have to get revived with the machine, we're gonna take a shot, is what we're saying we might do. So we're gonna see how we feel tomorrow. And if we feel like it, that might be what happens. But yeah, this is my going out makeup. I actually didn't get the look I wanted, to be so honest. I use a regular pencil, like a normal pencil, not like the liquid ones. And my regular pencil's broken, so I had to use a liquid one, and I couldn't smudge it the way I like it. So it's not as smudgy as I like right now, which kind of hurt my feelings. But yeah, that's what our thoughts are for tomorrow. So if you're interested in watching me get worse at Borderlands, because let's be so real, I'll get worse as I drink. Watch come by tomorrow. We also got I bought this, and I'm really sad about this. I got this from Target. It was on sale for $5. It's from their 135 section. It's too bright. It's too bright to put up back here. I thought it'd be so cute because we play Atoma games to have this little sign in the background. It's also white. I thought it would light up pink for some reason. Even though it's white. I don't know why I thought it'd be pink. But it's white. It lights up white. And it's very bright. Like, it's like a beacon in the dark. And I'm like, that's too bright. So I was really sad about that. I was kind of bummed. Also, our library started letting check out games. So I checked out a video game for the first time from the library. And I haven't played this one yet. So I figured I could probably do a couple streams of this. I have until like the 3rd to finish it. And it only took us 3 streams, I think, to finish Princess Peach. So I think it wouldn't take too long. I don't try to get... I would love to be a perfectionist all the time, but I try not to be a perfectionist when I play those games just so I can continue playing the game. So, you know. The next day was surprisingly peaceful, at least at first glance. Oh yeah, where are we at? Oh my gosh. Is doing this really okay? What the hell are we doing? I won't lie, his rod has been so boring for me that I can't even remember what they decided to do. What are they doing? I don't know. Despite feeling uneasy, I went about my usual work as a maid, then Edward appeared at the end of the hallway. For reference, my phone's currently on this little perch, so that the moment my friend messages me that she's on her way, I can put my dog in her crate, because she hates people, places, and things, but mostly people. And I have to put her in a dark, quiet spot with like rain noises so she can't hear people because she'll start barking. There's something I'd like to ask. Do you have a moment to spare for me? I guess. As expected, the calm was only fleeting. The next storm was already approaching. I quietly trailed behind Edward. Oh yeah, that also reminds me. I'll show a peek of what I've been playing. Really quietly. It's fine. I've not gotten too far into it, but look. Ooh. I'm gonna see if I'll have my review ready for it tomorrow, but I was playing that recently just to get an idea of it so that I can do a little review for you guys. So I think it's cute. So that's a short answer. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. She looks cute. Edward entered the empty library and closed the door behind him with a firm click. He offered me a seat before settling on one himself. I watched Edward, who looked unusually hesitant, and waited for him to speak.
実は先ほど、陛下からの使いが来た。使いの者が伝えてきた陛下のお言葉は2つ。
A messenger from Her Majesty stopped by not long ago. They delivered 2 messages.
1つは、
Okay, it's spelled right. My brain's like, that doesn't look right. Who am I to question things? I have dyslexia. Oh yeah. When I keep getting easily distracted because I am. If anyone is interested in this book, let me know. I'm doing a book club with my friend and my sister. And so all 3 of us got this book and we gave ourselves a month to read it. Which I did the math, which was 20 pages a day. If we did that, this boy is not tiny. He's like forever pages long. 577 pages long. He's 577 pages long. I haven't started. I should have already started like a week ago. So I need to read like 100 pages. It's fine. It's fine. But if anyone's interested in it, let me know and I can talk about it on Discord and maybe do a short video after I'm done reading it. With my thoughts on the book, because we're going to be doing that as a little group after we're done reading. I'm going to put annotations in this, which I'm really excited. It's the first time I've ever annotated a book before. I just got to get little post-it notes to do it too. So I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to ruin a book. I don't usually ruin them. I usually just read them. But for the first time ever, I have a reason to. All right. First, Her Majesty has given her approval for the recent charity matter. The other stated her wish to personally thank those who captured the wing hunters. That's fine. But this one has angels in it from my understanding. And there's other ones in the series. Ooh, I have a fancy book order that should be here soon. There was a fancy version of this book that had like the pages painted. And honestly, it wasn't that much more. But because I knew we were ruining it, I didn't get that one. I was like, it's fine. Plus, this one is soft cover, which I think will be easier to ruin. Just to ruin. I have so many books. I bought books today. I should not be buying books. I keep doing it. I actually got one that looks really, really cool. It's in the living room. I'll maybe show it next time I do my stream. But it's a sci-fi book. And when I read the synopsis on it, it sounded a lot like Mom and Dad Saves the Universe almost. In terms of like the entertainment of it, I guess. Because it's like a couple who ends up in a weird world and they get mistaken for like something local. It's like called the Majestic Wilf. It was like WILF or something like that. But like my sister's like, does that mean woman I'd like to? And I was like, I don't know. I ordered a new Dresden Files book signed by the author. That sounds cool. I have not heard of that one, but I'll look it up. I don't get too many of my books signed, unfortunately. We're slowly trying to be better about paying attention when Comic-Con and stuff pop up here because they do have authors every time. And I think the last 2 years we got 2 things signed. I think there was one thing my sister got signed one year and it's probably on the other side of my bookshelf. There's this one book I had bought because it was a bunch of fairy tale stories like reimagined from a different point of view. And that author was there and I just happened to see that he was going to be there and I already owned the book. And it was really funny because he's like, have you read this yet? And I said, no. Truthfully, no. He's like, it's good. I'm like, I bet you think it is. He wrote it. But yeah. But I got it because I like fairy tales and I have my own stories that I would love to actually turn into books and some of them are fairy tale based. So I wanted to see someone else's interpretations of that as well. So, but yeah. The representatives of the 5 houses are invited, as are you. Why me, bitch? It's implied. Being at the scene is hardly enough of a reason to earn the queen's praise. She likes you, like in a weird way. Could she be summoning me because she thinks I'm tied to the culprit? Wait, how would they even know I was there? Edward caught on to the unease I hadn't voiced and gave me an answer I was searching for. Also, this is my
クレスウェル家の配下数人しか見ていない。
Favorite lipstick because it never smears. Look at that. Nothing on there. It's also a bitch to take off at the same time. The only one who knows you were there were Al, myself, and a handful of Cresswell men. How was this peach? I opened this without even paying attention. We bought these a while ago, and yeah, peach. It's white peach. Ooh, it actually tastes good. I am a really picky drinker. I get so mad at alcohol commercials and stuff. They're like, oh, it's so great. Wonderful. And I'm like, this is awful. I hate this. None of us have breathed a word of it to Her Majesty. At least they shouldn't have. But I've been summoned nonetheless. Why would that be? Sus. It appears your name was mentioned due to your cooperation in resolving the incident. Edward's explanation gave me some sort of understanding as to why I'd been summoned, but a sense of unease remained. Oh, Edward doesn't know who I am. No, Edward does know who I am. Yeah. For just a moment, I was like, he doesn't know who this girl is. Edward gave me a probing look as if trying to uncover something. Ooh. Turning down Her Majesty's invitation almost seems impossible at this point. I wonder if Her Majesty knows who you are. I don't think she... My words caught in my throat. Now that I thought about the Queen's demeanor, I could not right deny it. I noticed something while looking looking into the incident 8 years ago that struck me. I thought he knew who I was. Did I forget? Does he actually not know who I am? Has he never figured it out? Her Majesty has been searching for someone for a long time. Is that someone new? Edward lowered his voice slightly as he asked the question. I replied in a soft whisper matching his tone. Yes, there's no doubt about it, but I'm not sure if she already figured out who I am. I see, then I have a request. Edward rose to his feet, making me wonder if he was going to sit beside me for a confidential talk. And if we finish his route tomorrow, which is my ultimate goal for tomorrow, then I'm hoping we'll get to start a little bit of Ascots and get him started as well. Trying to think. And then we'd have, I think, John is locked until you finish everything else. Otherwise, I'd do him next. But I think he'll be locked. So then we'll have to do Lucas. Instead, Edward knelt before me. He took my right hand, his eyes sincere. No. I plan on taking you to the palace. Should Her Majesty try anything, I will protect you with everything I have. Good luck. Bitch, I can't make that kind of promise. Who do you think I am? In return, you will promise that you won't do anything when you're before her. That's... Wait, okay, so he does know who I am, but does he not understand that she's the vessel? Do they not know that? Is that not common knowledge? I'll handle this issue at Elpeak for you. All the sadness and hatred you carry, I'll bear them for you. Could you leave everything in my hands? No. Edward's offer left me momentarily speechless. I shook my head slightly, still bewildered by the unexpected suggestion. That's not possible. That woman has done absolutely terrible things to my family, to the village. I told you, didn't I? I've been living for revenge for the past 8 years. Are you really taking that away from me? You say you'll take on my hatred, but that's just a pretense, isn't it? You only are saying that to protect the queen, aren't you? I bit my lip hard. Edward spoke, his voice calm and
それは違う。
patient.
私が守りたいのは君だ。私は君の心を守りたい。
I don't like it. That's not the case. I want to protect. What I want to protect is you. I want to protect your heart.
復讐などしても君は幸せにはなれない。
They always try to
君には明るい未来を生きてほしいんだ。
diminish that like hatred and revenge is like not the way to get things done, but I think it has poetry to it. I think some people are asking for it. She killed my entire family. Like, will it hurt my feelings a little bit on the inside to become a murderer in response? A little bit, sure, but like at the end of the day, the one who killed the most people was her. If we're talking about a scale of justice. Revenge won't bring you happiness. I want you to have a bright, happy future.
君は愛を知っている。
No.
家族
No,
の愛
thank
情に
you.
包まれて、その愛を他者に分けることができるのが本来の君の姿だろう。
You understand love. You're surrounded by your family's affection. Surely the real you can share that love with others, right? What's that supposed to mean? Who is it that took my family away? I can't receive love from anyone anymore. How could someone like me ever be capable of giving my love to others? Okay, well, that's a little bit dramatic. I snapped at him, trying to shake off his hand. He only gripped my hand tighter, voice soft.
私は君からもらったよ。ローゼ。
You've already given me your love, Rose.
君は
No, Edward, no.
私の中にある弱さや迷いや悲しみを見つけ出して、ずっと欲しいと思っていた言葉をくれた。
You saw the weakness, doubt, and sorrow inside of me and told me the words I'd longed to hear.
どれだけ私に力をくれたと思う。きっと
I don't like it.
君が思っている以上に私は君に感謝しているんだ。
Do you have any idea how much strength that gave me? I'm so grateful to you more than you can even ever
だからこ
imagine.
そ君には幸せになってほしい。
That's why I want you to be happy.
復讐を望むのはもう終わりにしてくれないか。
That's why I want you to be happy. Please, could you let go of your desire for revenge? His comment brought back memories of the warm future that had briefly touched my heart the day we danced. So? And yet, remembering that what he said, I couldn't hold back the words I had sworn not to say. My lord, have you forgotten something important? The queen isn't the only one I want revenge on. There's a high chance that one of those people is a family member of yours, your beloved father. Can you honestly say that you will be the one to settle this? My words seemed to rattle Edward, even if only momentarily. His hesitation didn't last long. Edward soon declared his unshakable resolve.
たとえその相手が父上だったとしても
Oh my gosh, I just forgot.
彼の行いが間違いだったと思え
I
ば
haven't opened this yet. We went to Kyoto
私はためら
Sushi.
わずに断罪しよ
Because they had the curvy collab. And if you spent, I think it was $80, you got the blanket. And so this is my new blanket for here, but I haven't opened it yet. Look, if you've gone to Kyoto Sushi, they have, it's a revolving sushi place. So that is, underneath that is Tomoko. And then he's running around with like a little salmon in his hands. Waddle Dee also runs around with candy too. I think there's Waddle Dee is on this blanket somewhere. But this is my new lap blanket for I'm streaming. So he's hiding here right now for when I open him later. I also got a couple of the little toys that they had. We missed out the opportunity to get the cups, but the cups were really tiny. They're like smaller than this, and I don't really drink out of tiny cups. Like this is already pushing it. This looks big, but it's actually just really long. And so it doesn't actually hold that much water, which is why it runs out usually if I have a long stream. Even if it's my father, I will not hesitate to condemn him if I believe his actions were wrong. Well, if you believe, that's your belief. I want what I believe. You should say if she believes it.
罪から目を背けるのは愛情ではない。愛しているからこそ正さなければいけないと 私は考えている。
Turning a blind eye to sin is not love. I love him, so I believe I must make things right. No. And I loved a lot of people who are dead now. Edward, what about them? Huh? I was the one who was shaken. I'm not. Part of me wants to go along with what he's saying. Still, is it okay for me to toss aside the feelings I've held on for so long? Besides, can I even trust Edward completely? He wanted his father's love so badly. Can he seriously turn his back on that now? After wrestling with my thoughts, I suggested a compromise. I understand where you're coming from. Really? But I still can't bring myself to fully trust you. And I'm not ready to let go of my need for revenge either. Which is why I've decided to accept the invitation and head to the palace with you. I'll do as you asked. I won't do anything to the queen, so please show me that you meant what you said.
もちろんだ。必ず君の思いに応
What
えてみ
if
せよ
I just lose my head in the process? What happens if I get attacked? He didn't say anything about if I get attacked. Of course, I'll make sure I do so. Edward, who still held my right hand, enclosed it in both of his. I rested my left hand atop his, quietly holding in my feelings. I haven't gone to the palace with Edward since the ball. At the ball, I felt a mix of emotions towards the queen. It was a vague feeling, neither hatred nor excitement besides.
周りが気にな
I couldn't deny that my heart had been filled with excitement at the ball, but I was no longer the person I had been back then. I'm not going there to dance with this time, and this isn't my first time meeting the queen either. Edward knows why I'm here now. Something will definitely happen when the two of us step before the queen. Perhaps our deal came together because our hearts felt the same. Several hours passed. Edward faced Alfred at House Cresswell's townhouse.
綺麗事ばかりは言っていられないぞ。使える駒は全て使うべきではないのか。
We don't have the luxury of talking about ideals. Shouldn't we use every resource we
も
have?
ちろん私の考えに甘さがあるのは認めます
Hiccups, oh gosh. I admit that my way of thinking is somewhat
ですが
naive.
目的さえ遂げられれば何をしても構わないという考えは現体制に通じてしまうところがあるのでは
Don't you think it's dangerous to think that anything is acceptable as long as our goals are achieved? Doesn't that mindset echo the current regime?
私たちはそれを変えるために行動を起こしているのではないのですか
Aren't you taking action to change the very system? Alfred frowned at Edward's comments. He paused for a moment before letting out a self-deprecating chuckle.
確かにお前の言う通りだ。それにあの娘を犠牲にするような考えは、エルトビークや15年前の繰り返しになるな。
I suppose you're right. Sacrificing that girl would only repeat what happened at Eltbeek and the incident 15 years ago.
では、
In that
チャリティ
case,
の件は私の手の者に任せよう。
I'll
陛下の
have
御前で何が起こるかは、
my people
私にも予想がつかないところでは。
handle the charity matter. As for what may happen before Her Majesty, I can't say for sure.
お前の判断に委ねる。
I entrust the decision regarding her to you.
ありがとうございます
Thanks, Al.
それからそのエルトビークでの件だが、私が知り得る限りのことをまとめておいた。
By the way, I've compiled everything I know about the Eltbeek incident. Alfred handed over a stack of papers. Edward took them, visibly
いつ読む
tense.
かはお前の自由だ。ただ、陛下との謁見が終わってから目を通す方がいいと勧めておく。
You can read it whenever you like, but you may want to wait until after you met with Her
予
Majesty.
想の範囲内かもしれないが、お前にとって嬉しくないことが書いてあるだろう。だが動揺していては、彼女を守るのにも支障が出る。
The contents might be within your expectations, but there's likely something you don't want to see. Don't let that shake you, though. That'll make it harder to protect
今は
her.
目の前のことに集中したいのではないか。
Isn't it best to concentrate on what's right in front of you at the moment?
お気遣い感謝します。
I appreciate your concern.
何が書いてあっても動揺するつもりはありませんが、
No matter what's written, I won't let it get to
心
me,
に
but
留めておきます。
I will keep your advice. I will keep your advice close to
あ
heart.
あ、そうしてくれ。
Please do. The fateful hour was approaching. At the same time, someone else was preparing to make a decision that would alter the course of things. Me? Is it me? I set up a meeting with John during the allotted shopping time. Yesterday, I had only been able to send a quick message via the pocket watch. We were unable to meet before I had to return to the estate. I wanted to tell him everything that had happened between Edward and me.
バーンスタインの息子はお嬢の正体を知った上で復讐をやめさせたいと言ったのか。
So the young Bernstein wants to put an end to the revenge after finding out your identity? Yes, that's right. Edward's too soft. He's always talking about ideals. I tried sounding harsh, but my voice ended up gentler than I thought it would. I awkwardly added more to cover it up. I couldn't bring myself to accept his offer right away. I can't throw away 8 years so easily, and I just can't fully trust him yet.
そっか。
I see. John, what's wrong? You can't just discard everything you've worked for either, can you? His sudden silence made him seem different than usual somehow, and it made me uneasy. Our eyes locked when I called out to him, and I was struck by the sorrow in his grayish purple eyes.
いや、信じきれないってお嬢の気持ちはよくわかる。その意見には俺も同意だ。
I understand why you can't fully trust him. I agree with you on that.
だから、俺は俺でお嬢のためになるよう動くことにするよ。
I'll do what I can to help you, my lady. Wait, what exactly are you planning to do? Our eyes met for a moment, then John sighed softly, letting go of his tension.
いつも通りだ。王宮周りの警備を調べておく。
I'll investigate the palace security, as
何か
usual.
あったら絶対にお嬢を助けに行くよ。
I won't be able to follow you that day, but if anything happens, I'll come to your rescue no matter what.
バーンスタインの息子が守ると言っても信用ならないし、お嬢を助けるのは俺の役目だからな。
I don't trust the young Bernstein lord, even if he claims he'll protect you. It's my job to keep you safe.
お嬢は昔からおてんばで手がかかるし、温室育ちのお坊ちゃんには荷が重いだろ。
You've always been a bit of a troublemaker, always so wild. A sheltered kid like him won't stand a chance. Nice, thanks. Are you making fun of me? Are you treating me like a child? I protested jokingly. John grinned at me like a mischievous boy.
ずっと一緒にいたんだから、多少の子供扱いは許せよ。でも、バカになんてしてない。
We've been together all this time. Surely you can put up with me treating you like a kid. I'm not really making fun of you.
大事に思ってる。誰よりも。
I care about you more than anyone else. What's this all about? You're being weird, John. What is he really trying to do? It feels like he's hiding something from me. I wanted to press him, but his gentle gaze made it impossible for me to get the word out. I knew one thing for sure, something had begun to shift. All I could think about was my looming audience with the queen, wondering if I could keep my emotions in check. The day finally arrived. The palace was bustling with the charity event taking place in the courtyard. Amidst the festivities, myself and the 5 houses representatives, excluding Ascot, who had been here since morning, made our ways to the throne
ボー
room.
ド家のおかげでチャリティーの場も大きな混乱はないようだ。オンに切るよ、ライナ。
Looks like the charity event is running smoothly thanks to House Ward. I owe you one line.
お礼の気持ちはありがたいよ。
I appreciate
け
your
ど
gratitude, but
さっきうちの配下に確認したら、クレスウェル家の方が主導で警備に当たってるって言われたよ。
I checked with my people earlier and they told me House Cresswell was leading the security.
だからうちは大したことはしてない。通常通りの警備に戻してる。
Which means I haven't done much with just our usual security routine. Oh, I hit the wrong button somehow entirely.
その件も含めて柔軟な対処にお礼を言わせてくれ。本当に助かったよ。ありがとう。
And I must thank you for handling this so flexibly on top of everything else. Been an immense help, thank
俺
you.
は自分の役割を果たしてるだけだ。
I'm just doing what I'm supposed to. Linus's tone when speaking to Edward felt strangely rigid. I've never heard him like this before. I knew it. Something is on his mind. Linus turned the conversation towards Alfred.
アルフレッドさんが王宮の警備に対してここまで熱心なのが意外でした。
I have to admit, I was surprised by how dedicated you are to the palace security, Alfred.
私も言い出した側だからな。責任を取らせてもらったまでだ。
I was the one who suggested it, so I simply took responsibility.
それに後家の者として、陛下の身辺を警護するのは当然。意外とまで言われるのは心外だな。
It's only natural for someone from the five houses to guard Her Majesty. I'm a bit surprised it's considered unexpected.
おっしゃる通りですね。失礼しました。
You're right, I apologize for that. There's tension in the air. Their exchange seems shallow, as if they're all hiding something. Maybe I keep my Switch controller on my knee. And maybe I'm wearing pants that are a little slippery right now. No. No, I do not. No. What are you doing? Oh, I'm hitting A, not B. As if I've switched games. Not I thought about it. Perhaps I was just as tense as everyone else in this situation. Right now, I was lost in
緊
thought.
張してるみたいだね。
You look nervous. Dude, I feel it. Before I knew it, Linus stood beside me and had figured out what I was thinking. Slippery pants sound like a hazard. They can be, but they're also soft. So, they're smooth. They're like MC Hammer pants. I love these pants. I bought them at Disney World, technically, at the Springs shop. It was free, people, but it was still there. It's too great of an honor someone like me to be in Her Majesty's presence for a second time. I answered modestly. Linus continued the conversation, his gaze lingering on my
そ
face.
れなんだけど、陛下はどうして今日君を招いたんだろ
You see, I've been wondering why Her Majesty invited you
う。武
today.
道会の時も随分君を気に入っていたよね。その理由に心当たりはある。
Her Majesty was quite fond of you at the ball, wasn't she? But do you have any idea why that is? I can't think of anything. Linus's amber-colored eyes felt sharper than usual, making me hesitant. Lucas, who had been silent all this time, then spoke up.
おい、そろそろ玉座の間だ。口を閉じた方がいいんじゃないか。
We're nearly there. Don't you think you should stop talking now? It almost felt like he was defending me. But as Lucas mentioned, the heavy doors leading to the throne room were now in sight. And there she is. It is shy!
よく来てくれたわね。
It's pretty cute, actually. Not load, not load. Don't load. I'll be so mad. I like her voice actor. I think I have like 3 or 4 of her things saved. That's just her speaking. That's her talking. Oh, I just won. I thought I had a couple more. Or maybe there's like another scene where I was like, it's fine. I'll just go further into it. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here. A lighthearted voice echoed through the majestic room when we passed through the door. Queen Tia was already in the throne room, but she was alone. Ascot, who was supposed to be here, was nowhere to be seen.
嬉しいわ。
How
あなたが
lovely.
来てくれたのね。
I'm glad that you came too. I sincerely thank you for the invitation, Your Majesty. I never imagined I'd have a chance to meet you again. It's a great honor. The Queen addressed me first, even though the 5 house representatives were here. I bowed to her respectively. A cheerful voice rang down from above.
あなたを招くのは当然でしょ。今日はあなたに会いたくて、この機会を設けたと言っても過言ではないのよ。
Ah, she's gonna fucking kill me. Inviting you was only to be expected. Honestly, I could say I set this up just to see you today. Huh? What does she mean by that? A wave of tension and unexplainable fear washed over me. I trembled. Edward stood in front of me, positioning himself between me and the
Hey.
Queen.
本日はお招きに預かり光栄です。
It's an honor to be invited here today, Your Majesty. Edward stepped forward to protect me and greeted the Queen sincerely. I thought proper etiquette was to wait for your superior to speak first. I realized that Edward had behaved rudely intentionally in order to protect me. I felt uneasy. However, there's a mosquito. However, the queen gave no indication that it bothered her.
エドは今日も美しいわね。最近ではさらに輝きを増しているとリリーから聞いていたのだけれど。
You look as beautiful as ever, Edward. Lily told me that you've been shining even brighter lately.
その言葉は本当のようね。ねえ、輝きの原因はやっぱりその子なの？あなたも私と同じで。
It seems like she was telling the truth. Is she really the one causing this radiance? I wonder. Are you completely smitten by her like me?
一体陛下は姉から何をお聞きになっ
I don't think we. It's right there. Never mind.
たのでしょうか。
I wonder what it is that you have heard from my sister, Your Majesty. Could Lily really be telling the Queen that Edward and I are close? Seeing the confusion on Edward's face, I couldn't help but think back to what Lily had said before, but then the sound of a door opening reached my ears.
遅れて失礼しました。どうやら皆さんお揃いのようですね。では、そろそろ面白い見せ物を始めましょうか。
My apologies for being late. It looks like everyone has gathered. Let's go ahead and begin the exciting spectacle, shall we? Ascot? A spectacle? A sense of discomfort made me glance at the door. Ascot stood there with something I hadn't expected.
どういうおつもりですか、アスコット卿。
Ascot stood there was someone I hadn't
危険
expected.
人物を陛下のおそばへ近づけるだなんて。
Okay. It could be the king? Dangerous person. Gadriel? Gadriel would be dangerous, I would assume. Lily wouldn't be dangerous. A dangerous person. That's it. Those are the only two people I can think of. What on earth are you thinking, Lord Ascot? How could you bring such a dangerous person here near Her Majesty? Lioness was the first to recover from shock. He charged at Ascot and the wing hunter with barely contained rage. Oh. Why is he here? He knows who I am. My anger at Ascot grew, but for different reasons than Lioness. To my surprise, the queen spoke up.
いいのよ、ライナー。私もちょうどその子に話を聞いてみたいと思っていたところだったの。
I guess the wing hunter would be a spectacle after all. It's okay, Lion. I wanted to speak a few words to that child myself. The queen sounded amused as she descended from the throne and strolled over to the man, a spring in her
陛
step.
下、危険ですからどうか。
You mustn't, Your Majesty. It's far too dangerous.
いいと言っているでしょ。私に逆らうの？
I said I have no problem with it. Are you disobeying me? Dismissed without the slightest warmth, Linus couldn't do nothing but stand there frozen in place. Meanwhile, the queen walked over, only coming to stop when a hand's breath separated them.
ねえ、あなたはランドルフなのよね。それなら私の大切な可愛いあの子がどこにいるか。
You're a Randolph,
知っている
aren't
か
you?
しら？
Then you know where my precious darling is.
私ずっと探しているのよ。8年前、やっと手に入れられそうだったのに逃がしてしまって。
I've been searching for her a long
本当に悔しかった。
long time. I almost had her 8 years ago, but she got away. It broke my heart. He glared at her silently, her eyes filled with hatred. After hearing what the queen had said, he let out a growl.
からあんなことをしたというのか。ふざけるな。お前などこの国の女王でいる資格はない。
And that's why you did what you did 8 years ago? What a load of crap. You have no right to sit on this country's throne.
残酷で残虐な化け物へ。我々の恨みを、苦しみを思い知れ。
You heartless, vicious monster, feel the weight of our anger and torment. His scream echoed about the throne room as he thrashed at the queen. Things took an unexpected
死
turn.
ね女王。
Die, you wretched queen. Is she a knife? The man brandished a dull silver knife, a weapon no prisoner should have had, and cut through the queen's wings with a swift right. Your Majesty! Linus rushed forward, the sight of the queen's wounded wing and sound of her labored breathing having snapped him out of his stupor. Step away, I'll deal with him myself. Linus lunged at the man with the speed of a beast, but... You, what have you done? The queen had launched her own attack before Linus could even get in a strike. The blow was even sharper than the wind Edward had summoned. The queen's counterattack landed squarely on the man and the man crashed to the floor. He was captured, so why is he still armed? And why didn't Ascot stop him? As I struggled to process the situation before me, Ascot casually turned the man over with little regard.
死んじゃいましたね。これじゃ話が聞けませんよ、陛下。
Well, he's dead now. I suppose you won't be able to get anything out of him, Your Majesty.
別に構わないわ。私をここまで待たせたあの子への軽いお仕置きのようなものだもの。
I don't mind. Think of it as light punishment for the child who dared to keep me waiting.
これは見せ物。ちょっとした余興でしょ。でもその割に私の体に傷をつけるなんて。
This is just a sideshow, but to think it damaged my body. You really do have terrible taste, Ascot. The queen shot Ascot a fierce look. Her gaze then shifted to me as I stood in Edward's shadow, a menacing smile curling her lips.
あなたが私の可愛い子なのよね。あの男が来てから焦るあなた。とても可愛かったわ。ね？隠してももう意味はないのよ。
Hey, you're my sweet darling, aren't you? Watching you panic when the man arrived was truly adorable. Hiding it now doesn't really do you good, does it? Is this a bluff or have I truly been exposed? Either way, after everything that had been said, there was no way I could talk myself out of this. I steeled myself, believing this might be the moment.
Rose, 私が陛下を食い止める。君はここから逃げるんだ。
Rose, I'll keep Her Majesty occupied. You have to get away from here. I remembered the promise I had made Edward as he whispered this in my ear. Yeah, I was there. I remember. Edward is willing to go against the queen to keep his promise to protect me, but this could be my one and only chance to get close to the queen. It is really time to let go of my revenge. I hesitated. The queen moved towards us slowly, deliberate steps. As she drew nearer, the thought of using my face light hand had crossed my mind, but then someone unexpected suddenly grabbed my arm.
くそ、逃げないのなら僕が連れて行く。一緒に来い、ローズ。
If you're not going to run, then I'll drag you away, damn it. Come on, Rose, let's go. Lord Lucas. To my surprise and confusion, Lucas grabbed my arm roughly and hurriedly pulled me away from the queen. Wait, what? Just before we reached the door, light suddenly bursted from my pocket. No way! Was it the king? Did he decide to just jump out? When the lights finally dimmed, the Fey King Obrion stood before me in his true form, just as I had expected.
何者だ。いや、あの羽。
Who are you?
まさか。
Those wings, could it be you?
嘘だろ。
You have to be kidding me.
なぜ今ここに？
Why is he here right now?
こらえ性ないな、まったく。これだから王様は。
No, you're really impatient, you know that. I suppose that's why you're the king. As the others reacted, I noticed a flicker of fear in the queen's eyes as she faced Obrion.
いえ、そういうこと。その子を利用したのね、オベロン。
How could you? No, wait, I understand now. You've been using that child, haven't you, Obrion?
さすがティア。察しがいいな。しかしいい具合にことが運んでるじゃないか。案の定、弱っているようだしな。
Figured you'd catch on, Tia. Looks like things are going just as planned. You're weakening, just as I expected.
これなら今の俺の力でも簡単に連れて帰れる。契約は終了だ、アプローズ。
Even with my current strength, I can easily take you back home. Oh, and the contract ends here, Apros. Wait, Obrion, I haven't summoned you yet. And what's this about the contract being over? I haven't even done anything to the queen yet.
そう騒ぐな。説明するより見せた方が早い。
Stop
つまり
fussing.
こういうことだ。
I guess showing you is easier than explaining things. Obrion summoned a powerful gust of wind with a flicker of his right hand, striking the queen's body as she came closer. Just like that, the queen fell still.
まさかここまで。
Who would have thought things would go this far?
そんな陛下
Your Majesty, no. I was still confused. Amidst the chaos, I turned to Obrion, who remained unfazed. Did you kill her? But that should be...
はあ、殺すわけないだろう。俺の目的は最初からティアをあっちへ連れて帰ることなんだからな。
Don't be ridiculous. I'm not killing her. My goal from the beginning was to take her Tia back with me. Huh?
だから契約終了だと言ったんだ。これで終わりだよ。
That's why I said the contract is over. This is the end, Apros.
それから始めまして。さようなら。女王を奪われる間抜けな5家の末裔諸君。
And to the foolish heirs of the 5 houses who couldn't even keep the queen safe, nice to meet you. Goodbye. No one dared speak at the sudden arrival of the Fey King. They seemed to be frozen in place by his presence. Obrion picked up the queen, unleashed a dazzling light stronger than ever before. Obrion, wait! And he disappeared with the queen without a trace. But he didn't take the pocket watch, so is it the Astray? Oh, this is an ending. We got that ending. I hit the wrong button. The Astray. Oh my gosh. Imagine that would just be the ending you get in Collar X Malice if you end up with that one guy that smokes all the time. After Obrion and the queen disappeared, no one spoke for quite some time. So this is like the side bad ending, right? The side bad, like we went over that way? Yeah, that's the side bad ending. Okay, cool. Because the bad ending is called the clown, I think. Because why wouldn't it be? And then like the normal ending is like just the good ending, I guess. Interesting. After Oberon and the queen disappeared, no one spoke for quite some time. It looked like the silence would drag on, but then Edward suddenly spoke.
君の
Your hair. I got the hint as soon as I caught him looking at me and scrambled to check my hair. Oh no, my disguise is blown. Obrion had told me the contract had ended. I suppose he really meant it.
もしかしてその姿が君の本来のもの
Is this your original form, perhaps? That's right, I'm Super Saiyan now. Yes, Obrion helped me disguise me so that I would look like an ordinary person. My true form had already been exposed, so there was no point in pretending otherwise, hence I just nodded. Edward stared at me as though we were meeting for the first time.
今の君からは妖精の血を強く感じるなるほど
So you were using the
妖
Fey
精王の
King's
力を
power.
借りていたのか
I can see your Fey blade clearly now. Edward paused abruptly, narrowing his eyes as if lost in
その
thought.
姿なぜか懐かしい気持ちになるな君はランドルフのご息女なのだからどこかで会っていたとしても不思議はないけれど
There's something about your appearance that feels nostalgic. Since you're Randolph, it wouldn't be odd if we had met before. He's already aware of who I really am, but it... Excuse me? If seeing me like this makes him recall something, then... I looked around feeling uneasy and instantly met Linus's gaze.
アプローズだ
You really are Apros. He seemed to murmur something under his breath, but I couldn't heart it clearly. Just one second. Maybe that's too bright. I don't know. It was dimming. I don't know why it does that. I think it's if I'm not... Well, no. Because I turned the light on when I first came in here earlier, so it's only been on for an hour or so. Usually at night I don't question it, because I'm like, it's like, go to bed. It wasn't just Linus either. Alfred and Lucas also stared at me, their looks meaningful. Having witnessed my true form and my interaction with Obrion, they must have realized not only who I am, but also what I'm after. What would they do to a Randolph? Edward and Lucas tried to help me escape the Queen, but I was left in a daze with the Queen having been unexpectedly taken away by the King. I didn't know what to do next. When I glanced around again, I noticed something. Where's Ascot?
そういえば
Not you mention it.
本当だどこにも姿が見えない俺にも気づかせないなんて
He's not here. I don't see him anywhere. How did he manage to hide himself from me?
どうやったんだ
How in the hell in the world did he do it? How in the world? How in the
空
hell
襲の
world?
察知能力を出し抜いたというよりは、我々全員の混乱と動揺を利用しただけだろう。
I don't think he outsmarted Q-Sith's senses. He just used our confusion and disarray to his
ライア
advantage.
ス、お前は特に今、私たちより変化を感じているんじゃないか。
You're probably feeling the change more than any of us, right, Linus?
そうですね動揺していないと言えば嘘になりますというかそんな生ぬるいものじゃない
I'd be lying if I said I'm not shaken. Actually, it's a lot more than just that.
自分の一部が失われたような喪失感絶望
It feels like a part of me's
吐
gone.
き気がするくらいに
The crushing
苦しい
despair.
ですよ
It's so overwhelming that I almost feel
で
sick.
もそれは俺だけじゃないですよね
But I'm not the only one who's feeling it, am I?
本当に忌々しいほど感じている。今も自分の意志とは無関係にじわじわと蝕んで
No, I can feel it to a maddening extent even now. It's gnawing at me against my will. This is troublesome. I too experienced the strange sensation Linus and Lucas mentioned. I hate the Queen with my whole being. But another part of me is saying something different. There's a feeling I can't quite place, something beyond love and loneliness. If this is the consequences of the Queen leaving Grand
アスコッ
Albion,
トさんの所在も気になりますがいつまでもこうしてはいられません陛下の不在はすぐに知れ渡る
as much as I'm concerned about Ascot's whereabouts, we can't stay here forever. Her Majesty's absence will soon be apparent. It was almost as if Edward had read my
妖精の
mind.
血を引く者なら少なからず陛下の身に何かあったと気づいているでしょう
Anyone with Fey blood will have noticed that something has happened to the Queen at the very
しか
least.
し起きた事態をありのままに国民へ知らせるわけにはいかない伝えるには衝撃が大きすぎる
However, we can't tell the citizens what exactly happened. The shock would be too much for them to handle. Telling them that the Queen's king came back and took her back to Lenog does not sound that bad, man. Alfred scanned the room, then spoke, echoing Edward's
女王
sentiment.
崩御という形で収めるのが無難だろうな。それでも事態は深刻だが、
Framing it as the Queen's death would be for the best, but that wouldn't quell the
だが
worries.
陛下を失っても、グランドアルビオンには我々がいる。
Without the Queen here, we'll have to step up. Grand Albion needs
民
leadership.
に動揺を広げないためにも、これからは呉家が国を立て直すと宣言しよう。
We should announce that the five houses will work to restore the nation in order to avoid panic spreading among the people.
やけに冷静ですね用意周到すぎるし陛下がいなくなることは想定内でしたか
You're surprisingly calm, like you're way too prepared. Was the Queen's absence something you had expected? Linus's tone verged on sarcastic. Edward quickly intervened.
今の状況を予想していたわけではないよそれは私たちの反応を見ていたらわかるはずだ
He didn't predict this. That's evident from the way we will react.
陛下ひいては国を支えるために常に万全の体制を取るのが私たち
Our duty as the five houses is to be fully prepared to support Her Majesty and the nation. Would you agree with that, Linus?
そうだね呉家の務めと言われれば否定はしない
I guess, yeah. I can't deny that it's the duty of the five houses.
陛下が崩御されてすぐに自分たちが国を立て直すなんて宣言をしたら反発が出るのは間違いないよ今の俺みたいにね
If we declare that we will be we will rebuild the nation right after Her Majesty's death. There will be undoubtedly be resistance, like from me for
特にウォードを筆頭とした
like from me, for instance. I kept trying to say resistance again. My brain was so fighting that word so hard. Oh my god.
女王派の貴族たちが黙ってないはずだ
Us Ward, we're the head of the royalist. We won't stay silent.
分かっているよだからこそライナにはそれを抑える役割を担って
I
ほしいん
understand
だ
that. That's why I'm asking you to step up and keep them in check, Linus.
おい、悠長に話してる場合か。
Is that really the time? Is this really time to have a this relaxed of a conversation?
今はそいつをどうするかを決めた方がいいだろう。
We should focus on deciding what to do about her rather than worrying about explaining Her Majesty's absence to the people. Lucas suddenly turned the conversation to me. Once again, everyone looked at me. What should I do? Should I say something? A soldier bursted into the throne room as my thoughts raced.
お嬢
Milady! The soldier, or someone who looked like one, at least rushed into the throne room and promptly removed his hat and
無
jacket.
事でよかった。
I'm glad you're safe. It was John, I could tell by his voice. John didn't seem to notice anyone else and rushed straight to me. However, I flinched the moment he reached for me without really meaning to, and it was as though I was rejecting him outright.
ごめん、お嬢。
Sorry, my lady. What are you sorry for? I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to get into an argument with him here.
君が迎えに来てくれたのなら彼女のことは君に預けた方
Oh
が
my
いいさ
god. If you're here to pick her up, then I suppose it's best to leave her in your
今は
hands.
緊急事態だからどうやって王宮に潜り込んだかは不問にするよ
Since this is an emergency, I'm not going to ask how you slipped into the palace.
助かる。
Thanks.
身元についてこの場で正すつもりはないが、これだけは聞いておこう。逃げ道は確保してるのか？
I won't press you about your identity, but I need to know something. Have you secured an escape route?
正面突破はおそらく無理だぞ。どういう手段を取ったかは知らないが、ここまで来たなら分かってるだろう。
Forget about getting through the front. I don't know what tricks you've pulled, but you've come this far. You should know better.
ああ。ただの王宮警備というには兵の数が多かったし。
Yeah, there was too many soldiers for normal palace security. There was shouting
おそ
too.
らくここで起きた出来事を感じ取ってのことだと思う。
Chances are they picked up on what happened here. John took a quick look around the throne, his expression shifting. He knew exactly what had happened. No one asked how he had grasped so much so quickly. Not a single person broke the silence. Even they were all wondering the same question. As they heard what was going on inside the palace, they instead realized their fear had come true and exchanged glances. Linus slowly raised his hand, the air tense.
本来なら極刑ものだけど緊急事態だから教える
This would usually warrant execution, but the situation's too urgent to stay
この部屋
silent.
の奥に陛下専用の秘密の通路があるんだ門外不出の情報だけどね
There's a secret passage at the back of the room for the queen to use. It's strictly confidential, of course.
でも彼女が誰だか分かった今その情報を開示するに値する人物だと俺は判断した
Now that I know who she is, I think she's earned the right to know. I'll take you there. I raised an eyebrow. Is it because I'm a Randolph, part of the five houses, or is it because Ansel's blood flows in me? Part of me wanted to dig deeper. Everyone was trying to help me escape at the moment, and that was what truly mattered. I should have taken comfort in it, but I couldn't.
急いで
This way, hurry. I hurried to the corner of the room at Linus's urging, and it wasn't just John who followed, Edward did too. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I keep feeling it. Oh god. The hole in the wall led to a dark passage that seemed to mirror our current situation. It was shrouded in uncertainty with no clear end. Edward quickly jotted something in his notebook, tore it out the page, and passed it to me as he stepped close to explain.
落ち着いたら必ず君を迎えに行くだからこの部屋で待っていてくれないか
I'll come for you when everything settles down. Just wait for me in this room,
ここ
alright?
は私とアルさんが用意していた場所だその姿で屋敷に戻るわけにもいかないだろ
Al and I set this place up. You can't go back to the mansion looking like that, can you? You have a point. I touched my hair, feeling uneasy, and nodded. Edward offered a gentle smile, trying to reassure
こ
me.
こには生活に必要なものが一通り揃っているから安心して
We got everything you need for daily life there, so you can
外
relax.
出するのも自由だけれど 君の立場を考えると、しばらくは目立たずに過ごした方がいいと思う。
You're free to leave if you want, but I suggest laying low for a while given the circumstances. Got it. I'll stay out of the way as much as I can until you come back. I nodded in agreement and Edward let out a relieved
そう
sigh.
してくれると助かる。できるだけ早く会いに行くから。
This isn't the bad ending, this is the Astray ending. It's like the alternate odd ending that usually involves the love triangle, which is why I'm a little confused. Because I'm leaving with Jack, and it really should be... Well, maybe it's because Linus showed us the room. It should be Linus that's involved because he's part of the love triangle. It feels so anticlimactic. Yeah, no, it's not the good or the bad ending. It's the sidestep ending, basically. The whoops. Whoopsie. Like the last one was the one where Lucas showed us how to go to Tiranog. And all of us went to Tiranog together, and it was just really awkward, and we're like, bye, we're going to Tiranog, see you later, Alfred. That one. I'd really appreciate that. I'll come by as soon as I
これ
can.
からこの国は大きく変わる。
The country is going to drastically change. When that
改め
happens,
て私の誠意を見てほしい。
I hope you'll see me my sincerity. No thanks. That one had betrayal. It was more dramatic compared to this. Yeah, no, having the king just go like, I got her, bye. It's kind of weird. Unwavering eyes met mine. They were still as clear as ever, never losing the essence of who he was. But I can't make sense of my emotions. A single thing kept forcing its way into my head. If the queen was going to vanish, I should have been the one who delivered the final blow. I glanced at John and shook my head once, as if trying to push away my unresolved feelings. Then we ran to the secret passage and escaped the palace. Now we're here. John, can I have a moment? Can I have a moment? One moment, please. How many chapters is it? Oh, there's another one at the very least. I hate this. Just let me scroll down. It can have a lock on it. Just let me go down. Gosh.
Oh,
Sure. I settled into the room Edward had set up for me and confirmed where all the necessities were before calling out to John. John looked down, his expression serious. It was as if he were awaiting the judgment of the death
お
sentence.
嬢が何を言いたいかは分かってる。あの場にオベロンを呼んだのは俺だ。
I know what you're about to say. I was the one who called Obrion there. He spoke firmly when he turned to face me, his face full of determination. Then explained, why would you do that? I had a good idea on what the answer would be, but I asked anyways, hoping to hear it directly from John.
復讐を諦めて欲しかったから。お嬢が心配だったんだ。
I wanted you to give up on your revenge. I was worried about
弱って
you.
いたとしても、女王はこの世で最も強いピュアだ。やり合ったら、ただじゃ済まない。
That's not true. The king is, actually. One of or second strongest would be fine, but the strongest lies. Lies. Slander. Even in her weakened state, the queen is the strongest pure fae in existence. If you fought her, you would have been injured or
俺は
worse.
ただ、傷ついて欲しくなかったんだ。
I just didn't want you to get hurt. It's my choice. We're on a vengeance path, my guy. If you were not down bad for it, then you should have gotten off a while ago. John's response made me recall the conversation from earlier. I don't want to recall the flashback conversation from earlier. I don't care. So that's what he meant. I should have realized that, considering John's personality, but I honestly never expected him to do something that would feel like a betrayal. You didn't want me to get hurt, so you told Obrion to take the queen away before I made a move, is that right?
ああ、そうだ。
Yes, that's it. His answer made me sad, but at the same time I couldn't help but wonder, how could John have known that Obrion wouldn't actually kill the queen? I always believed that Obrion's only goal was to get back the wing the queen had taken from him. I thought my contract with Obrion would be fulfilling if I killed the queen and gave back his wing. When I looked at John, all I saw were care and worry on his face. John sometimes treats me like a child. He takes such good care of me that I occasionally wonder if it's all a bit too much. So he thought he could make me stop seeking revenge if he got the one I hated taken away. That seems kind of plausible, right? But how did he know what would happen? What if I find out John's keeping an even bigger secret from me? I felt like I couldn't trust anything anymore. Hence, I held back and didn't ask the question. Is John the queen and king's child? I know you're worried about me, I really do. He's a prince. Could we date a prince? But listen, John, getting hurt means nothing to me if it means achieving my goal. I've been prepared to die from the start. I let my sadness speak for me, finally revealing the torment I'd kept hidden. John shook his head desperately, reached out, and grabbed my shoulders.
お嬢が生きる気力を取り戻すためなら、復讐にすがるのも間違いじゃないと考えてた。
I honestly believe that if revenge was the only thing keeping you alive, then maybe it wasn't the wrong path after all.
でも、そのために死ぬなんて、やっぱり認められない。俺は。
But I couldn't let you throw your life away in the end.
だからそんなこと。
I want you to live, my lady. Please don't say things like that. Even if he was hiding something from me, I knew his feelings for me were real. I could feel it in the way he held my shoulders. Even so, I placed my hand over his and gently eased his hand off of me. You've been with me all this time, so you must understand I've endured things far worse than just getting physically hurt. 8 years ago, my heart was shattered beyond fixing. It actually died. My revenge on the queen really is the only thing keeping me alive. If that were taken away from me, half done, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be so lost. I wouldn't even understand what it meant to be alive anymore.
そんな。お嬢。俺は余計なことをしたのか。
You joined a ride or die and did not die, basically is what I'm hearing. When you decide to stop riding. Milady, did I do something I shouldn't have? Abso-fucking-lutely. John muttered in despair. I could only shake my head weakly. I don't want to condemn you with such harsh words, so I'm only saying them speculatively. And I know that what you did was because you care for me, but still, I trailed off, turning away from him. Can I be alone for a while? I need some time to think about what to do next. Though he heard me, he remained still for a long moment until... Fine. He sighed, resignedly, as he watched me avoid his gaze. Then he muttered a single word and turned towards the door. A single word? That's not a single word. I'll be at Goneril's place like usual. If you need anything, don't hesitate to come to me. Okay, thanks. Upon a response, John opened the door without a word and stepped out. I felt as though an invisible gap had formed between John and me as the door clicked shut. Perhaps I wasn't the only one who sensed it. A few days passed. Just curious. Was that a whole scene? Go. We did, and it's still going. There's another after that. What the heck, guys? Edward had promised to prove his sincerity, but he never came. I simply waited, growing more and more impatient by the day. I need to know what's happening at the very least. I won't find out anything if I stay cooped up in this room. Edward had told me going outside was fine, so I gathered my courage and stepped out. I went into the city, grabbed a newspaper, and found that the preparations for the Queen's funeral were already in process. So they're officially declared her death to the people, and the 5 houses really are taking over to restore the country. Something caught my eye as I moved to the side of the road, absorbed in the article. That the Queen was stealing power from the Mingles? What a horrifying thing to do. That's nearly as vile as the Wing Hunts. The article claimed that the Twilight Ravens had exposed this. They were now regarded as heroes. Between the newspaper and the conversation of passerbyers, I realized that the country was in the midst of chaos. The royalists are stirring up opposition. Like Lioness said, that means Edward may not be coming anytime soon. Just when I felt the waiting was meaningless, a carriage sped past me. Seeing the familiar Bernstein crest, I instinctively checked to see who was inside. Edward and Edmund, where are they together? The carriage quickly disappeared into the distance. I remained frozen in place, still gripping the newspaper tightly. They were supposed to be at odds with each other. Edward knows that Edmund is probably the one I'm seeking revenge on. It felt like I had witnessed something unbelievable, but then I suddenly remembered my conversation with him.
それはそうだね。
He said he loves his dad. Did he choose his father over me in the end? I bit my lip hard and
ほら
then...
こんなところで何してるの？
Hey, what are you doing here? Someone tapped my shoulder out of nowhere and I turned around without thinking. Why, hi, Linus.
エドにあまり目立つなって言われてなかったっけ？
Didn't Ed tell you not to draw too much attention to yourself? Linus's bright eyes met mine, his smile slightly awkward. He did, but he also said I could go out. Linus shook off his surprise and blinked as if trying to recall what had been said.
おう、そういえばそうだったかも。
Right, I guess that's true.
それなら今日は気分転換に街へ来たってところ？
Did you come to the city for a change of pace? I did.
の割にはあまり明るい表情には見えないね。
You look less happy than I thought you'd be. Linus glanced between my face, the newspaper I held, and back again. A thoughtful expression played on his face.
そうだ、気分転換なら俺がいいところを知ってるから連れて行ってあげようか。
Oh, I know just the place if you're looking to clear your head. Want me to take you? Aren't you busy, Lord Linus? The unexpected offer caught me totally off guard. Linus simply gave me a warm, inviting smile.
うん、めちゃくちゃ忙しいよ。だから俺もちょうど気分転換がしたかったん
I'm
だ。
swamped. I could use a change of pace myself.
ってわけで、
Will you come with me? Alright. I knew I was following his lead, but I couldn't deny that I wanted someone to talk to after spending the last few days alone. And knowing him, he probably understands things on a deeper level than what the newspaper says. I quietly followed Linus, the image of Edmund and Edward still in my mind. Linus took me to the front of a pub. He left me standing on the street while he went in to get something, then came back almost immediately with 2 mugs in hand. Wait, is this a flashback? Stretch! Oh, Stretch. I'm too used to being redeemed for drinks. Oh my goodness. Phalanges. I keep looking at possibly getting a little treadmill so I can walk while I'm streaming. Which is the whole reason I wanted a rising table to begin with. One, so I could stand up. But if I put a treadmill under this while standing, 2 things. Circulation. Continue onto my hands. So we're gonna drink.
君にはこれをあげる。
This one's for you.
いける口には見えなかったから。君のはただのソーダ水なんだけどね。
You don't seem like a big drinker, so I got you soda. This time you're not gonna let me drink alcohol. He handed me the soda and took a big gulp of his beer, clearly enjoying it more than I was enjoying my own drink. A beer during a work break is really the
やっ
best.
ぱ仕事の合間のビールは最高だな。
Is it really alright for you to be drinking if you're technically working right now? I couldn't resist pointing that out. Linus scratched his cheek a little embarrassed.
まあ、いいか悪いかで言ったら悪いんだけど。だから君も俺がサボってたってことは秘密にしててくれないかな。
No, it's not exactly the right thing to do, so could you keep quiet about me slacking off? I don't mind, but I'm not in a position to be meeting anyone right now. Who exactly would I be keeping this a secret from? My answer was completely logical. After a slight pause, Linus replied,
まあ誰かと会うとは思ってないんだけど、
Yeah,
ね。
well, I wasn't really expecting you to meet up with
秘密に
anyone.
してほしい相手はウォード家だよ。つまり俺の配下かな。
I need you to keep a secret from House Ward, though, my subordinates, basically.
次期当主が率先してサボってたら示しがつかないからね。
It's not exactly a good look for the head of the house to be slacking off, is it? I felt myself questioning his unusually light tone, but I then noticed the faintest traces of something dark in his voice. Before I would have been hearing names like Edward and Alfred at this point. Sensing something was off, I decided to try and dig a little deeper and cautiously questioned him. What's everyone up to now? I'm guessing the funeral preparations are top
そう
priority.
だね。君の言う通りだよ。
Yep, you're right. Linus gently swirled the contents of his mug, a bit unusual, unsure of what to do with himself.
俺に限って言えば、葬儀の準備は他の3人に任せて、貴族間の調整に走り回ってる。
I left the funeral preparations to the others. I've been running around dealing with the matter among the nobles. Linus paused and pointed at the newspaper I held.
多分そこにも書いてあると思うけど、今、グランドアルビオンの貴族の間には溝ができてる。
Probably mentioned it in there somewhere, but there is a growing divide among nobles in Grand Albion.
まあ、前からあったものではあるんだけどね。それが今回のことで表面化してきて、かなりまずい。
It's not exactly new, but the recent event has brought it to the surface. Things are pretty bad now. Linus took a swig of his beer as though he were swallowing his thoughts. You mean the rift between the royalist and Lord Edward's faction, right? The ones pushing for change? Has the unity within each household been growing stronger because of this?
もしかして何か見た？
Did you see something by any chance? Linus must have sensed something behind my question because he narrowed his eyes slightly and fixed his gaze on me. With the way he asked, I figured sharing with him might be alright. I happened to see Lord Edmund and Lord Edward in the same carriage earlier. Have the two of them been spending a lot of time together recently? Linus's amber eyes flickered slightly when he met my probing gaze. After briefly closing his eyes, Linus opened them again with a new sense of determination and stared directly at me.
さっき言ったように、俺は他の人とは別行動なんだ。
Like I said before, I've been acting separately from the
だから
others.
正直なところ、エドともあの日以来ろくに話してない。
Honestly, I haven't really talked to Edward since that day.
事実だけを伝えるなら、俺も王宮で2人が一緒にいるのを何度か見たよ。
But I've seen those two at the palace together a few times, if I'm being honest.
何を話してるのかまではわからなかったけどね。
I couldn't tell what they were talking about, though. I see. A dark, unsettling feeling slowly spread deep in my chest at Linus's answer. Just as I started to think that trusting Edward might have been a mistake, Linus's expression suddenly softened.
何かを迷った時にはさ、原点に帰るといいよ。俺はそうしてる。
When you're unsure about something, it's good to go back at the starting point. That's what I do. Back at the starting point.
そうすると、自分が本当は何がしたかったのか、何をするべきなのかが見えてくるんだ。
When you do that, you can see what you really want and what you should be
俺
doing.
はそうしてるよ。っていうか、反強制的にそうなってるんだけど。
I do that, though to be honest, I more or less have been pushed into it. His tone grew heavier and Linus gently averted his gaze as I watched him
夢
silently.
でね、見るんだ。その夢は、俺がしなきゃいけないことはこれだって、毎晩のように俺へ突きつけてくる。
I see it in my dreams, and every night that dream forces me to confront what I have
昨
to
日も
do.
見たよ。けど、俺がしなきゃいけないことは変わったかもしれない。
I had it again yesterday, but it feels like what I have to do has changed. How so? Linus returned his gaze to me and I gave him a slightly troubled smile.
教えてあげたいけど、ここじゃ無理かな。君は今どこに泊まってるの？
I'd love to tell you, but I don't think it's possible here. Where are you staying? At a building on the street. I was curious about Edward and Linus's relationship, but I figured there was no need to ask. I told Linus the building's location and my room number.
そっか。教えてくれてありがとう。
Okay, thanks for telling
俺
me.
はあちこち飛び回らなきゃいけないから、ローアンを留守にしがちなんだけど。
I tend to be away from Rowan a lot because of all the traveling I have to do.
落ち着いたら会いに行くよ。君に話したいことがあるから。
Once things calm down, I'll come see you. There's something I want to tell you. Alright. With Edward's promise to visit still unfulfilled, it was hard to put much faith in Linus's words. Sorry, when she said that, I was like, Edward, that's not Edward. He was always cheerful, but I caught a glimpse of something dark in him now and then. I wish I understood what that was. Besides, back to the starting point, huh? His comment left a lasting impression on me. A few days later, I found myself near my hometown. I didn't tell anyone I was heading to Eltbeek, not John, and certainly not Edward. Maybe going back to the village will help me see the path ahead, or am I just being naive? In the end, this was the best I could do. The queen, the person most crucial to my revenge, was gone, and I had no way to reach Edward. Maybe I can give up on revenge like John and Edward said. I couldn't even guess how my feelings might change, so I moved forward without thinking. I could have sworn a nearby tree shook. It's not an animal, I think it's a person. I sharpened my senses and felt an unmistakable presence. They were likely behind the tree. Travelers wouldn't wander here without purpose. That was the very reason my family had been able to remain hidden here. I carefully drew my knife, alert and prepared, then I spoke without hesitation. Who's there?
俺だよ。
It's me. Yeah. I almost lost my grip on my knife when I saw the person who appeared from behind the tree. There stood Linus. I met him only a few days ago. It made no sense for him to be here. Have I seen him in this outfit before? Why are you here? I kept my guard up. Linus moved closer in response, spreading his arms wide to prove he meant no
各地
harm.
に散ったウォードの一族とコンタクトを取りに来て通りかかったんだ。
I was trying to reach out to scattered house ward members I happened to pass by.
って言っても信じられないか。まあ、今のは建前で、本当は君を追ってきた。
I guess you're not buying it. Honestly, that was just an excuse. Truth is, I've been following
ご
you.
めん。実は君と偶然会った日から、部屋の出入りを配下に見張らせてたんだ。
Actually, I had my subordinates keep an eye on your movements ever since I met you by chance.
君が旅支度をしてどこかへ向かうようなら、俺に知らせるように頼んでおいた。
I had them inform me if you were getting ready to go on a trip. Why did you do something like that? Seeing that I couldn't grasp his purpose, Linus's face contorted into something that looked almost painful.
君がここへ来るだろうと思ったから。
I figured you'd come here.
俺が原点に帰るという話をすれば、君は必ずここへ帰るだろうと思ったんだ。
I believed that if I brought up going back to the starting point, you'd come back here for
そして俺
sure.
は君と会う必要があった。
And I had to meet you here in this place. Anger welled within me, knowing it had all been planned, but I forced myself to hold back. I needed to learn the reason behind his actions. What are you trying to achieve? Why would you need to meet me here, knowing who I really am? Are you telling me that you were involved in the incident 8 years ago? I glared at Linus as he stepped closer, pressing him for a decisive answer. He gave me a deep
アプローズ
sigh.
俺はリアムだよ。覚えている。
Apros, I'm Liam. Do you remember me? Liam? Liam. The moment Linus called my true name. Oh, Apros. Sorry. My memory surged forward like a raging river.
ねえ
We did his route already, we know. So you are. Emotions swirled within me like a whirlpool, too intense to describe. In that moment, I knew my urge for revenge hadn't dulled in the slightest. It's because of you that everyone's dead. You told the queen where I was. I should have never saved you back then. I should have just watched you die. Fueled by anger, I raised my knife, but Linus grabbed my hand effortlessly. Then he gently pressed the tip of my knife against his chest for some reason.
そう。俺のせいだ。君には俺を殺す権利がある。
Yes, it's my fault. You have the right to kill me.
俺はそのためにここへ来たんだから。
That's the very reason I came here. You went through all that trouble just to come here so I could kill you? My anger still burned, but confusion took over as I looked up at Linus. Linus's expression became even more pain.
君は信じないかもしれないけど、俺にとってここは最も幸せな記憶と最も辛い記憶が混在した場所なんだ。
No, this was in the game. Okay, that was such a weird sound. You probably won't believe me, but this place carries both my happiest and most agonizing memories.
毎晩夢に出てきた俺の原点も君と同じエルトビーク村だよ。
The place that haunted my dreams every night is Eltbeek's village, the same as yours.
ここでの出来事が
Yeah, but like... Not sure. Don't think we're gonna make that far. That's kind of sad. Alright, we're gonna try a little bit
その後の
longer.
俺の生き方を決定した
What happened here set the course for the rest of my
君は
life.
君の家族を見殺しにした俺はもう空シーとしての使命にこの身を捧げるしかないんだって
I felled you and your family, so I had no choice but to fully give myself to my mission as a Q-Sith.
そう思ってたのに君は生きていた
That's what I thought, but you're alive. That means I have to make things
俺
right.
は償わなきゃいけない
It's this swelling sound that sounds like a drum or something. Are you trying to apologize? I don't need that. Just let me kill you. As I was about to drive the knife forward in a fury, Linus spoke
で
up.
も俺はまだ君に殺されるわけにいかない君が復讐したいのは俺だけじゃないだろ
I can't just let you kill me. There's others you want revenge on, right? One sentence from Linus was enough to cut through my haze and anger. Right, how could I forget? I really thought Edmund was the most likely suspect. If Linus knows what happened 8 years ago, then maybe he also knows something that about the person I need to take revenge on. I had sort of assumed I had to wait for Edward to act. Only now, when I was too late, did I realize that the whole new path had appeared before me. Then tell me, where were you when the Queen forces struck this village? I kept my emotions in check as I asked. Linus closed his eyes for a moment before
この
answering.
森にいた
In this
身勝手
forest.
に聞こえるかもしれないけど空シーの使命と罪悪感に引き裂かれそうでどうしても村までは行けなかったんだ
I know it might seem selfish, but the weight of Q-Sith's mission and my guilt nearly broke me. I just couldn't go to the village.
だから俺はあの時ゴケから誰が来ていたのか具体的に何をしたのかは見ていない
I wasn't there. I didn't see who the 5 houses sent or what exactly went
でも
down.
村まで入り込んで村人たちに手をかけた者はウォードの中にも何人もいる
But the ones who went all the way to Eltbeek and actually hurt the village, plenty were wards. Alright, so are you going to let me kill those people
そう
too?
しても構わないその前に彼らに証言もさせよう
I don't have a problem with that, but before that happens, let's get them to talk. And say
Ah.
what?
彼らはきっと見てたからあの時誰が村に来ていたのかをね
Well, they must have seen exactly who showed up at the village. You're willing to sacrifice your own people and betray the 5 houses? I never thought I'd ever hear that from the next head of House Ward. I couldn't stop this sarcastic remark. He was betraying his family now. Just like he betrayed me 8 years ago. Linus gave a smile so empty it almost seemed like he didn't care.
そうだね今までの俺だったら
I know,
ありえない
right?
行動だ
The old me would have never acted this
だ
way.
けど気が変わったんだよ
But I changed my mind. Hearing that reminded me of what Linus said just before I got here. Before I got here.
夢でね昨日も
You suddenly want to help me just because you had a change of heart. I don't believe that. Why would you go that far for me? What he said next fit neither the place nor the moment.
君のことが好きだから
Because I love you, he's blushing.
8年前にも言ったよね俺はアプローズ君が好きだあの頃からずっと
I said it 8 years ago,
忘れられ
remember?
ないくらい
I love you, Uprose. I can't get it out of my head even after all this time. Linus's smile was as bright as the sun as he confessed his feelings for me. Bathed in dapple light, he looked utterly at peace.
陛下がいなくなった今俺はもう空シーの使命に縛られる必要はないんだ
Now that Her Majesty is no longer with us, there's no reason for me to be tied to the Q-Sith duty anymore.
だから今度こそ君のために生きる君だけのために俺の全てを捧げるよ
This time, I'll live for you. I'll devote everything, every part of me to you and you alone. Linus gazed at me with an expression of sheer bliss, but I had to wonder, was it really love I saw in his eyes? Doubt flickered in my mind, though I couldn't say why. This wasn't what mattered to me, though. Both Edward and John want me to stop seeking revenge. He's the only person willing to help. He's the only one on my side. And he's being so passionate and firm about it. Well, will he truly stand by me and not betray me? Edward promised to show me his sincerity, but he never came to see me. If anything, it seems like his distance between him and Edmund has shrunk. Perhaps his father really is the most important person to him as always. Maybe Linus coming to see me before Edward was fate. I reached out my hand. If you're willing to go that far, Linus, then I'll accept you. I kept the knife aimed at Linus in my right hand while the left touched his arm softly.
喜んで手を貸すよ。俺を信じて。
I'm more than happy to lend a hand. You can trust me.
今度こそ君を裏切らない。
I won't betray you this time, I swear.
何よりも。
I'll be your greatest ally. No, the problem is that I try to trust anyone at all. It hit me suddenly as I watched Linus weave a passionate word with a sparkling smile. It's because I trust others that I get hung up on them, tangled up in their game and betrayal. If I want to achieve my goal, I have to use people, not trust them. It's that simple. John had always been my rock, the one I truly wanted to rely on, but he was just too kind and forgiving. If I looked at everything Edward and I had shared, our chats, our memories, our burden that clouded my judgment, I could finally push them all away. If that's the case, then prove it. Prove that you won't betray me. And we're gonna have to find that out later, sadly. I was hoping I could finish this side quest, but unfortunately, things are happening now. People are showing up, so it's time. It's time. But hey, we're gonna finish this tomorrow. Yeah, I feel like that was a good spot to stop. I was like, all right, because I had finally got a message, and I was like, oh no, how close are we? And we still had like 2 parts. Yay! Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Blue. Thank you, Ninja, for being here. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and thank you, Anne, for reminding me to stretch. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what time my stream's going to be because there is a couple things we're doing, so it could be a later stream. And then I'm going to double check and see if we're going to do Borderlands, but with drinks. So that could be fun. We'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a lovely day. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check me out on Twitch. I stream about 3 times a week. We're currently playing Mistonia. We're going to be playing Borderlands. We're going to be playing Zelda. We're going to be playing Pokemon soon. There's some other things happening. And I might have a review tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on Discord tonight. Stay hydrated. Yes, I'm going to. I hope you guys have a lovely day.